For this week's review, I chose Double Dragon, starring Scott Wolf, Robert Patrick, and the beautiful Alyssa Milano.
Pardon me if you can. Movie reviews.
Set in post-earthquake Los Angeles, two orphan brothers, Jimmy Lee, played by Mark Dacascos, and Billy Lee, played by Scott Wolf, become entangled in a battle with Shuko, played by Robert Patrick. Shuko is a powerful businessman / gang leader who is after the other half of his medallion. The medallion is an ancient talisman that, containing mystical powers, once combined, will give the holder incredible power. Los Angeles is ruled by the streets, and the brothers seek the help from the Power Corps, which is a powerful youth gang led by Marion, who is played by Alyssa Milano. Double Dragon is based on the popular video game series, one of my personal favorite video games, of the same name, which me and my brother played heavily when we were really young. The video game is simple. One of the brothers' girlfriends is kidnapped by a powerful gang leader, and now the brothers must go and rescue her. And it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, one of the best games ever made of the genre. Some others include, of course, Streets of Fire, Golden Axe, and one of my personal favorites, River City Ransom. The world of Double Dragon the movie is set in a post-earthquake dystopian Los Angeles. It looks very similar to Escape from LA. There are a lot of movies from the 90s that depicted such a world in almost the exact same style. We have Demolition Man, Tank Girl, and Barbed Wire as some examples. The wealthy corporate world of Shuko, the villain, who's played by Robert Patrick, is a huge contrast to the post-earthquake streets of LA. It basically looks like the corporate world of RoboCop. The biggest issue with the movie is that they tried to do something really complicated from a very simple, straightforward story. What Double Dragon the video game is, and I actually have a copy right here. This is Double Dragon 2 on the NES. It's pretty cool. What Double Dragon is, effectively, is a simple revenge martial arts story or a rescue martial arts story. Alyssa Milano should have been the hot girlfriend of one of the brothers, and she gets taken by Robert Patrick, who runs the most powerful gang. The brothers must beat up an army of people to get to Robert Patrick, and then we have a big showdown between the three. Instead, we have this mystical talisman that does some really tiresome special effects. We have Robert Patrick performing weird experiments on his own men, a mentor mother figure of the brothers who they must avenge, a gang leader who's trying to get her father, who's the police chief of the city, to understand the problems of the inner city youth who have taken refuge with the gangs. There are so many things going on in what should have been a really simple story. And what's the deal with the setting? Like, it would have been cheaper and more, and just heaps better if they had set it in a simple, Walter Hill's The Warriors type world. Instead, it's such a 90s thing to hype everything up and set it in a dystopian future. There are so many stupid props and costumes. You have really dumb modded cars that look like something left over from a B-grade 70s sci-fi movie, and that wonderful 90s, hey, we have a set piece, let's put graffiti everywhere mentality. Robert Patrick has some fun in his role here, but his character took me completely out of the movie. There is this scene where he meets with a really powerful gang leader. Robert Patrick just turns into a shadow, goes up to him and chokes him out, and the guy can't fight back or anything. So it gives off this impression that Robert Patrick is extremely powerful. Yet when he fights the brothers, he gets his ass kicked in every scene. He does turn into a shadow, but he uses that to get away. I don't understand, why doesn't he just turn into a shadow and choke out everyone? It just baffles me, the logic in this movie. It's just really mind-numbing and stupid. A lot of the characters look really silly. There is this one character, like a really big muscle dude, and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger because Robert Patrick keeps putting experiments on him. So picture this big rubber muscly suit, something out of Big Trouble in Little China. And that brings up another point. Big Trouble in Little China is closer to the video game of Double Dragon than Double Dragon the movie. Big Trouble in Little China, two buddies, their girlfriends get taken, and then they go out after them to rescue them. And that's it. But Big Trouble in Little China, by the way, is one of my personal favorite action movies of all time. Alyssa Milano has short, platinum blonde hair in this movie, but she still looks incredible, and the movie does show her off quite a bit, and why not? If you have Alyssa Milano, you might as well show her off. I watched this movie quite a few times when I was really young because I couldn't believe that they made a movie on one of my personal favorite video games, so I watched it heaps. Unfortunately, the people who made this film had little respect for the source material. They tried to do something stupid with it, and as a result, we have a terrible action movie. I didn't mind the comedy of the film. It's really silly and stupid, but at least it gives you something to smile about. The actual martial arts combat scenes and stunts were okay, probably a C+ effort, and the cast looked like they had a lot of fun making this movie. I can't say much about Double Dragon because it's been reviewed many times on the internet, and it's both universally hated by audiences and critics.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeyifyoucan.com.